We are breaking down Tate Martell today.
Tate
is, I don't know how high he is as a quarterback rating.
Tate's a 5-star, I believe.
Full screen.
I believe Tate's a 5-star. And he is on the market to be shopped around.
This is from 2015, so we'll give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
He's got another year where he could have developed and changed
Tate.
some of these things. But at the same time, I'm sure a lot of these things are habits that can just be broken and reassessed, readjusted.
Let's get after it. Let's break Tate down.
Okay.
This is the QB breakdown. All right, first and foremost, Tate. Tate reminds me of myself the way I throw. You must have been a baseball
Look at that! Look at that Coach Fisher stride
right
there.
Look at that stride. The big stride gets hated on, but I think I'm
not
a big
by
strider.
you.
Yeah, no, not me, not me. If you're a big strider, you're in my freaking club. Tate is he's not the tallest quarterback in the game, so I believe that he is he really understands how to use ground force. That's the first thing I noticed. He has a lot of weight distributed from his back, getting off the ground and pushing forward, which is really important. And to me, that's the first thing that really sticks out. The problem with a long strider that I deal with myself and the guys tend to criticize is you sink in height. So being on the shorter end of things, height is everything. You want to be able to use every centimeter of height that you have. So what Tate does right here is when he drives and really gets that stride, he probably loses an inch. So wherever he's at, say he's 5'10", he probably says he's like 6 feet, 6'1", I'm not sure. But wherever he's at, he's lost an inch on the stride. So it's important to be able to, if you're going to be a strider, to still stay tall. And that's kind of an oxymoron because you're like, well, Coach, how do you stay tall if you're going to stride? You got to learn to be tall from the waist up and be able to be strong from the waist down. That's what I tell all my guys. So if you're going to be able to change platforms like this guy does, where he gets from one place to the other, you really got to be able to keep the eye level consistent and not sink. But I love his leg drive. I think he's using every inch he can right there. What Tate does really well too is he's got a high release, so that helps him out. He doesn't. If he was a 3/4 or more of a side guy, that would probably be a detriment. He'd probably lose stock in himself as a QB, but because that release is so high, he's been told this many times that just don't sink. Don't sink, Tate. If you're wherever you're at, you want to start at 6 feet, you want to end at 6 feet. Drew Brees is a great guy to really emulate. He's a strider. He's a big stride quarterback, and he's on the shorter side. So I think this would be a good example to really use. He must be a baseball guy, man, because that's how I feel. I was a baseball guy.
Get that leg whip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of biomechanics, and I think Coach Fisher touched on it a little bit, but, that's what I'm most interested in, right, is looking into where are there some biomechanical flaws that I think that he can focus on that will help him down the road in making sure that he doesn't have injuries and even get better performance or at least the same performance but less at risk for injury. And the first thing is that you can see his back right leg here. He just gets a ton of valgus. Now, this is where he gets all of his force from. We always talk about getting good push off that right leg. A lot of guys, they don't create force off their right leg. They generate most of it off of their left leg or out of their arm.
Back leg.
Oh, yeah, back leg. Yeah.
Lefty. It's all back leg. Right.
Back leg.
You say righties because we're right-handed.
Yeah, yep. Back leg. So you want to generate force off that back leg as you're transitioning forward. And a lot of times what we'll see is guys that they do like an external rotation type of a thing, kind of like that. You can see how his back leg's doing that external rotation. Now what he does, though, to generate force off that back leg is watch how his knee valguses, collapses in there. That is not a good biomechanical movement right there. Now, it works out for him because he gets more out of the throw, but what he can do instead is just go and toe off, push with that toe forward, and generate hip extension that way, rather than getting it with this rotation and then leg kick that he does with the right side. Now, I realize he's probably a baseball player, and so he's got some stuff going because of that, some habits because of that, but this is the habit that I think that he's going to want to break, or else it's going to end up to cause some type of knee problem, knee dysfunction, knee pain, or even worse, a significant knee injury. just because of the movement patterns that are associated with that type of internal rotation. And Coach touched on a little bit, just that hyperextension, that front knee. We get a better transition forward and more core activation. So what he does is, as he's transitioning, he loses core stabilization right there with that hyperextension. In the back, again, I mean, Coach talked about excellent release. That release is almost, I mean, he's already got that, the wrist totally supinated and the ball pointing forward. That's exactly what you want. But because he lost that core stabilization, which affected that hip, now he has to compensate by doing the hyperextension in the knee. Or
Tate, you just got mechanicalized. That's what I call that. The mechanic just mechanicalized you.
Let's go. Let's get a front view now.
Front view, okay. And this is what I mean by that sinking, right? So Tate, buddy, God's given you a hell of an arm. He didn't give you all in the height department. I can relate. So use everything. You're dropping to about, I know this is a year ago, you might have gotten better since, but you're dropping down to about 2 inches less than how tall you are. So I love everything you're doing right here. Just stay tall from the waist up. Stay tall. Try to think tippy toes and then drive. But your balance is fantastic. Your head's not moving. Your chest is square after you get through the zone. That release is fantastic. The elbow's not low. It's ear level. You're getting off the ball.
Another thing that I talked about, we talked about earlier, and I think that there's some differences that can come from this. But in my opinion, we want to get more pronation out of the hand as it comes through. So then we can get more rotator cuff activation. When you start coming across, that ends up to be much more pec, lat.
Question in the back. Mechanic, what's pronation?
Oh, so pronation is when you rotate your hand all the way forward just like that. So you can see where he's pushing kind of straight through like that, doing more of just kind of a wrist flexion. And what we want to see is more of that straight rotation, and that'll help him slow down the throw more than having to use so much of that pec minor here and then lat in the back. What do you think about the stroke here, Coach?
The stroke. Love the stroke. You're getting a great backstroke. He is completely opening up his shoulders for as much rotation as possible. He's dropping it. He's getting down here. I'm a fan of it. I don't think it really needs to be messed with. If anything, I'd say maybe try to keep it up a little more. He's really dropping it down, but his wrist gets turned over so quick that I don't think it's a big deal. The only thing I'd say is be careful. You got DNs coming and swiping. So anytime that you can speed up a backstroke is always going to be great. The backstroke is what we really want to. That's the Aaron Rodgers. Wah, wah. Right? So you don't want to be caught down here too long. Tate doesn't seem like he gets caught so long. He's really getting a good backstroke and allows the wrist and shoulder to come through. I'm a fan.
So important. So if you get this more straight through, you'll be able to, when you have crossing routes, that's when it's going to be the most difficult, when you start going more across your body, right? Because if somebody's going this way or even this way, and now you've developed this habit of coming across, you're going to have to, you're putting more into your brain to have to conceptualize because of how you have this natural kind of coming across release. And so if you end up just coming straight through and get that good pronation, that will help you. Now, from this angle, what I do like and that we haven't talked about yet is we could see his spine stabilization. We see a lot of guys that try to lean over right to the side way too much. And this is excellent job where his QL, which is the lateral stabilizer, is locked on. His spine isn't moving anywhere as he's coming through, which is a great thing that he does. He gets a lot of rotation through that right arm because it's coming all the way through, but it's not the spine that is bending it all, which is, again, that's some good stuff there. Anything else, Coach?
Have a great year this year, man.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck to you, man. Hopefully you can take this, and if you have any questions, whether regular quarterbacks or Tate, let us know. We'd love to be able to help you out. That's what we are doing this for, is to help kids out, to help people out. So, reach out to us and let us know if you have anything that we can do for you. We're out.